for two, and two for three, and me for you, and you for me. Hello?
Hello, darlings. Welcome back to Tea Time with Mrs. Washington. The topic for today is actually going to be a very brief, very short little video, or so I say. So I've been saying, and they've ended up being kind of long, but whatever, it's just what it is. My intent in the beginning is for them to be short, so let's see what happens. Topic for today is going to be about pronouns. So, my man is trans, not transgendered, but transitioning. As far as we're concerned, they're different. I already explained this in the second video that I did. Second video ever that I did, so you can find that. Pronouns. So, I guess this is just kind of a mini rant. As you know, if you've been watching the videos, my boyfriend has started on T. He's only, at this point, 3 shots in. The lowest dose. So, we don't have Barry White in the other room right now. But we also don't have Barbie. Or Bernadette Peters. You know, the lady voice. That's not the voice that he has. But in regards to pronouns, he's never really given much of a goddamn about whether people call him he or she or they or whatever. He finds in the transgendered community, because he has trans friends, they're more comfortable with using they when they talk to anybody, or they're discussing anybody, just because it's like the safest way to go, especially in the queer community. But he, in particular, doesn't give a fuck, hasn't given a fuck in the past as to whether or not people say he or she when they're referring to him or talking to him directly. And, you know, I'm the girlfriend, so it's not my business, so I just roll with it. Whatever he is comfortable with, whatever he wants to do, I'm down with it. I can adjust and adapt, and, you know, whatever you want me to call you, I'm gonna call you that. But when we met, and that is going to be a video that I'm going to do, I'm going to chronicle how we met. But when we met, I saw male. I met him at a queer party. He was bouncing and doing guest list. And so, you know, it was a queer party, so you kind of assume that everyone at the party is queer, from like the outside to the inside of the club. And that was the case. And so I was just kind of like, okay, this person is queer, I don't know how this person identifies, blah, 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 or whatever else, but I do know that as a femme, this person is motherfucking masculine and sexy and gorgeous, and the style is to die for, and everything about him is just like screaming my name. And I see him. I see male. I don't see female in any way. So, because he's really chill about the whole pronoun thing, he's never really given much of a fuck as to what people call him, and that's fine, and I'm fine with that too. But in my mind, I've always seen him as male. I have felt that male energy, that masculine energy coming off of him, so what comes out of my mouth is he, whenever I'm talking about him to anyone that I know. And so, when we're out, now, because he's starting on testosterone, and he's moving more and more into his masculine self, he seems to be less fluid, less comfortable with presenting as fluid, and more wanting the male pronouns. And that's fine, because that's already what I've been doing. But when we go out, he presents as male, he looks 100% male, but when we're in restaurants, when we're in clubs, when we're doing whatever, people assume that he's my man and he's male and all that, which is what he is, but they see him as a cisgender man until he opens his mouth. And when he opens his mouth, there is a slight feminine intonation that happens. It's the sound of his voice, not how he enunciates his words, but the sound of his voice that instantly makes people think, okay, so this is a super butch woman. And so then they say, how are you ladies doing? Or can I get you ladies anything? After we say, you know, hello if we sit down at a table in a restaurant. This has always bothered me. I tried to just let it go, and I bit my tongue because he was kind of like in the beginning, you know, whatever, I don't care what people call me. So I'm like, okay, this is clearly my problem. But now, since he started the tea, or not even since, but as he's met me, and he's become more and more masculine because I'm bringing it out in him, he doesn't like being called a lady. He doesn't like being assumed to be female. He really doesn't fucking like it. It's starting to grate on him, and it's grating on me too. So every time I hear people in restaurants or on the street or wherever we happen to be saying, hey ladies, how you doing? I'm just kind of like, I want to say, does he look like a fucking lady? Because he doesn't. He looks like a full-on man. I know that the sound of the voice threw you off, but if he didn't open his mouth, you would have been none the wiser, and you would have assumed that this was a man sitting right here beside you. This is, again, pre-T, so he hasn't gone through the vocal changes of lowering the voice, and his voice isn't high, it's already quite low, but it's not low enough to trick the cis population, I guess. So yeah, I'm bothered by it. I'm bothered by the ladies thing. I'm bothered by the fact that people can't just use gender neutral terms, or even more masculine terms, like if a bunch of girls come and sit down at a table and a chick comes up to you and says, hey guys, how you doing? That's totally chill. Nobody gives a shit. You're calling us guys. We're not offended by you calling us guys because we know you don't mean men. You're just meaning guys, just casually in general. People. Hi people, how are you doing? Hi folks, it's all the same shit. But calling two people ladies means you're going out of your way to be excessively polite to what you think are two feminine ladies that are sitting at your table or that you're serving drinks to. And that's not the fucking case. Your eyes aren't tricking you. If you look at someone and they look like a man and they open up their mouth and then you're like, wait a minute, probably best to go with a gender neutral pronoun instead of going excessively feminine and calling someone who, for all intents and purposes, to your sensibilities, appears male, shouldn't be called a lady or a girl or a woman or whatever effeminate thing comes to your mind that you think you should say. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And this is the cis world. This is the world that we live in. It's the world that pisses me right the fuck off. And I'm fucking over it. Just fucking, but cis people, like, they don't know. They don't know how to research. They don't know about a spectrum even. They don't know how to think outside the box. They don't know about different terms that you could potentially use with people. They're just black and white. And I'm over that shit. That's why I'm with my man, is because he is not black or white. He is this beautiful, caramelly, tasty, doesn't fit into a box, delicious, melty, strong, powerful, beautiful smelling, foresty smelling creature that like floats along in between. And that's what I'm into. I'm not into this fucking black or white bullshit. I'm over it. I just want it to be done. I just want people to grow, particularly cis people. Can you just fucking grow? Can you just be a little more sensitive? Can you try? Anyways, end of rant. Thank you for tuning in to Tea Time with Mrs. Washington, motherfuckers, and I'm out. Time to settle the fuck down. Go have a walk in the rain. See ya.
How happy we